it's Christine with Cocoa Daisy, and today I'm going to share with you some stamping samples using the Dandelion Wishes April collection. And we have two stamp sets this month, one in the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit and one in the Modern Memory Keeping Kit. These two stamps together make up the stamp subscription as well. So I'm going to show you some ways you can use each set individually, ways to combine them, and then I'm also going to share with you, because this has the circle stamp in it, and then some of these kind of half circle with the sayings, which we've done previously. I'm going to show you a few past stamp sets that would also work with these circle stamps that are in this one. These are just my samples. I apologize, I don't have the finished stamps in my hands yet, but I wanted to get this filmed and show you and get this all done. Now the colors that I'm using, and I do want to mention that we are now carrying stamp pads, stamp inks from the Stamp Market. So I'm super thrilled with that. These are my favorite inks to use for colors. The colors are beautiful. The inks lay very well on your paper. There are other, there's tons and tons of different inks out there, but this just happens to be my favorite. I think it performs really well and gives a nice crisp image, even in a colored ink. So I'm going to show you the colors that I think work really well with this month's collection. For black, I always love to use the VersaFine Onyx Black. It gives a beautiful crisp black. And most of these, I think, can be found in the store unless some of them have sold out. I keep ordering more and they keep selling out. So just make sure you put your name on a wait list if it is sold out. So I'm going to show you these colors. I've got Tropic Teal, Sea Glass, Breeze, Cobalt, lots of great colors. Cactus, Gumdrop, Curry, Golden is a beautiful little warmer yellow, and then the Sunshine, which is a beautiful bright yellow, goes perfect with this month. So those are the colors that I used here on my examples. So the first stamp set I'm going to show you is the one from the Modern Memory Keeping Kit. And it has this great layering circle. So there's a double bordered circle. There's this one here that you can stamp. It has the two spots with the open middle, and then a half circle that's solid. There's an arrow that's solid and an outline which you can use together or separate, and then all of these other bits and pieces that you can layer. So as I mentioned, the circle, so you can use the double solid one that has the opening in the middle, and you can layer that with the border circle and then add a saying in the middle. You can turn it, you can do the grow that way. There's Colors of Spring, and then there's the half circle stamp, this one right here, that you could do in a color. And I liked it for some of these other sayings that are also basically like a half circle, and these are so fun. Like this one that says loving this life with the little heart. You can see I did that half circle in a yellow and a green, and then I added loving this life, and then meh. So maybe it's not the best of days, so that would be a cute one. And the nice thing about these circles is you can always use a circle punch and punch them out and use them as a die cut as well. So you can see all the different ways that I've layered those together. I added here, I just did a couple butterflies and added a saying in there as well. And then you don't have to stamp these half circle ones right up in the top or the bottom. You can see here I did it more in the middle, and I think that turned out really cute with a little butterfly too. And as for the butterfly, I love this butterfly. It's a nice size, It's great for being able to create backgrounds or borders. You can see here I did kind of a rainbow effect with all of the colors that we have. And then in between, I just did colors of spring. So that would be so pretty down the side of a page or next to a photograph. If you did almost a whole background, you could stamp these and cut them and cut some of them out and fold the wings up and give a little bit of dimension as far as for doing a layout would be really, really fun as well. You can see here I stamped it with the April Stories under it. Here I did with Grow next to it and just the outline of the arrow. And then I used the arrow in a couple of different ways. I thought this was really cute. It's a great little jumping off point for journaling. So you have the arrows pointing at yes, you have the arrows pointing at the meh. So there's a good thing and a bad thing. So that would be a great little jumping off point for journaling or for a layout. I used just the outline, stamped the Grow, and then colors of spring. So a lot of these, if you garden, would be really, really fun. The little You Are My Sunshine stamped over top of it. And this is how you would use both of them together. So I find it's easier to stamp this part, the solid part first, and then the outline over top. And so that's what I did here, but I didn't do both of them. I kind of liked that effect with the Grow on there. I did this one in the circle with the April Stories. And then another thing that you can do with these little half circle sayings is you can stamp it, turn it around, and stamp it the other way and make a full circle. And again, you could punch that out, would be really fun to do. So I wanted to mention, so in January, we did a whole series of circles and half circles. A lot of these would work with this circle as well. So you could stamp them inside, you could stamp them like this one here, you could go in there. These are a little bit too big, but the smaller ones will fit in there, as will the little dot also. Or you could make it a little double border, you could add it around it, so you can use those with it. And then in February, we did a couple of these half circle designs, kit. This was from the Traveler's Notebook kit, and they had those little half circles. So you could do the same thing with this border circle as well. So just wanted to point that out. And so it's just another way that you can combine your stamps and stretch them and create all of those great layers. Now the next stamp set I have is from the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit. And this journal, this box journal here that I have right here, this box, is part of the collection that we've been doing. It is not part of this stamp set, but I wanted to show you how we're continuing on with that theme. I believe the last one is going to be May, and then we'll have done a whole year. But this was from, I believe it was March. So I just pulled that out and I stamped it just to show you how you can continue to use this with those stamps. So I just want to make sure you understand that this box stamp here is not part of this set. It was part of the March set, but I wanted to be able to show you how you can use those pieces going on or continuing forward. But I had this one, the slide, was what we wanted to include with this. So this time we did not have the box set. So I stamped that a few times just to give you an idea. I added the month number on there and the April and some different colors. There's different ways you can combine. There's this pretty little beautiful. I love that script. It's a very nice little script. And the beautiful with April, and then sunshine, April in my garden, the April sunshine in my garden, and then I added the dandelion. And then there's also on here these little bits right here, which are more of the little dandelion seeds that you can add to kind of continue that on. So that turned out really cute. So I layered that over that one. And this one is April Rain, and then there's Muddy Puddles. So those are some different ways that you can combine those using them in that box for your journaling. If you don't want to use the box, there's a number of ways that you can also combine them just by layering them as they are, adding in the dandelion, layering it over the month number. I love this one. I think the simplicity of that is so pretty, or even just the beautiful sunshine, I think is really pretty. You could put that on a journaling spot and then just have your journaling even go around it. Would be really, really neat. And then I have the beautiful April sunshine. And then I've combined a couple of them with this slide stamp. And what I would love to do with that slide stamp is actually print tiny little photos and cut them out and put them in the slide. I think that would be such a fun effect for a layout, especially in a traveler's notebook, which is a smaller space. I feel like you have that on there with the little photographs would be really, really fun. And so this one, I just added the beautiful above it, left the spaces open, added the dandelion. This one, I added the dandelion in it, added the April sunshine. This one, I turned and ran it this way, and I really like how this turned out. So I did April, and then I put beautiful, and I had the little number for the month. And again, you could leave those bare. You could add a teeny bit of journaling in there, or a date and a photograph, and it would be really, really cute. So I love that little slide stamp. I think that's going to be a fun one. So then if you take both of the stamp sets and combine them, you get this. And these again are just a few of the ideas. You can actually, I mean, there's so many more ways than this. This is just a few ideas, as I mentioned. It's a few examples, but as I've said the last few months, the best thing for you to do is sit with some scrap paper and just play. Just start layering and playing. It's good practice. It's good creative fun. And you can play with the colors then, and you're not committing to everything. You're not worried about messing up. So I think it's really important to do that. So here I combined just some elements from each of them. Different ways that you can use the April with the butterfly, the April with the little half circles. I think those are really cute. I love this one. I ran the dandelion through the 04 and then added the little colors of spring. I think that's a beautiful setup right there. Just even the dandelion with the word grow or April stories. I love the simplicity of that, and sometimes I think that that is a beautiful way to use stamps, is when it's just very simple and it's just a little added touch. This one I did the colors of spring, and then I stamped the butterfly in different colors in there. This one I did the You Are My Sunshine, but first I stamped that half circle in a lighter color, and then I did the You Are My Sunshine over top in the black. April stories, and again, this is a perfect opportunity to either add journaling or tiny little photographs, a couple of the butterflies and the grow there. The other thing that I did, I took that half circle and I stamped it, turned it, and stamped it again, and I made a whole circle. And then I was able to stamp the dandelion. It fits almost perfect in that circle right over top. So it gives that little illusion of kind of color behind the dandelion, which I thought was cute too. Grow, yes, with the little arrows. This one is a nice little cluster with the date and April, and then sunshine with the arrow behind it. And then kind of the same idea here, but without the 04. And then this one, again, another super simple one, just April stories, and then the month number. And then little butterfly with the beautiful. I thought that was cute as well. So that's a couple of ways that you can combine all of the stamps together if you get both of them. So again, this one was the Modern Memory Keeping Kit. This one was from the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit. But if you subscribe to the stamp subscription, you will always get the 2 memory keeping stamp sets. So you will get the one from the Traveler's Notebook and the Modern Memory Keeping Kit. So you get both of those if you subscribe to the stamp subscription. So that is just a fun look at the beautiful bright colors that you can use with these stamps and all of the fun things you can do to layer them.